Hi guys, this is James from DBG and welcome to another video. Once again, usual disclaimer, my son is in the living room playing on Fortnite, so you may well hear some shouting and some gunshots, but I can only apologise for that. It's children, what can you do? Anyway, so if you saw the pictures I put up this morning of this is my completed Flames of War Canadian / British Army. Obviously there's actually not many things in here that you can distinguish as Canadian, but all the infantry and guns are Canadian. All the armour is 7th Armoured Division, because as Canadians advanced onto Caen and then past Caen, they had armour support from the British as well as their own armour, and the 7th Armoured Division was at the centre of all the battles. Once that little incident at Villers-Bocage with Michael Whitman, and then there's Operation Goodwood and Bluecoat, and then onwards past Caen towards the Falaise Gap. Anyway, so yes, historically these two units fought together, otherwise obviously in Flames of War you wouldn't be able to put these two units together. So I'm going to do what I normally do. I'm going to show you a few bits and bobs, a few choice units. There is actually 2 units of armour. If you look over here, there's the first unit, and if you look over there, there's the second. Obviously I am not in the position to get everything in shot at the moment. So what we have a Canadian rifle company, which consists of a company HQ, which is these 2 guys here. That's there's your officer, a captain or a major, and there is your 2IC, which would be a first lieutenant, or in some cases even a captain, but it depends on depends on the organisation. Then back there we have 3 infantry platoons, each of roughly between 35 and 40 men, each with 3 rifle sections, a Piat and a 2-inch mortar led by a second lieutenant, and each one is exactly the same. And then at the back there we have a battery of 25 pounders with a observer in a universal carrier. To the back left there is 2 Achilles, which are basically M10 American M10 tank destroyers, but fitted with the British 17 pounder, which is a very good gun. And then down here we have the first of the 2 7th Armoured Division platoons, consisting of 3 Cromwells and a Firefly, and then over here another platoon with 3 Cromwells and a Firefly. Now we'll start off with the Canadians, so we'll have a look at an infantry stand. So hopefully, there we go, hopefully you can see. Now I've used pretty much extensively Games Workshop colours on these, purely because that's what mostly I have, but the colours are really well suited. The overall uniform colour is Steel Legion Drab, and I've used Death Guard Green for the webbing. And let's see if I can find an intact. Yeah, these guys are intact. Alright, come on, focus. There we go. This is a standard fire team with an NCO, a Bren team, and 2 riflemen. Now these are, some of you may consider these are quite small, but they're quite fun to paint. And there we go. Now, the Canadians. Now, what can you see about this Bren carrier? You see anything odd? That's right, the stars are not aligned. See, the Canadians didn't like the fact that what they considered an American symbol was used by all Allied forces. That's all Allied forces. That's the British, Canadians, Americans, Poles, Free French. Everyone fighting for the Allies used the White Star as an aircraft recognition tool. Canadians weren't happy about this. So they deliberately painted, when they put the stars on their vehicles, they deliberately painted them wonky, so you can always tell they're a Canadian unit, and very proud of the fact. At the front of it, I don't know if you can see, maybe the back, I've tried, come on, I've tried to put Canadian decals on. I didn't have one that had should be a yellow maple leaf, but I only had ones with either red or blue. So this one actually has a red maple leaf, but it's still the 3rd Canadian Infantry. Now, yeah, that one. Look at this 25 pounder on focus. There we go. Standard Flames of War loadout. There's metal crew, so this one's slightly heavier, but again, very quick, very simple to paint. And if you're interested to know what green I used for the armour and guns, it is Revell's Aquacolor NATO green with a slight dry brush of Aquacolor green grey for a bit of a highlight. Now, on to the Achilles. Now these bad boys have the 17 pounder, which is the same as the Firefly, but their armour wasn't that thick, and obviously they were open topped, so they didn't really, these were used as ambush platoons. They would lie in wait for the German armour or German columns to come on to them. We very rarely find them on an attack because their armour was so mediocre. Now, let's look at some tanks. Let's look at this Firefly. Now this one, now those of you who know your history will know that I've got the unit numbers and the colour of the geometric pattern wrong. I didn't do my research properly, but it's not too much of a problem. Some of you may be wondering, can focus how I got that decal to sit really nicely across the hatches like that. It's very easy. I have this stuff. Let me just find it. I have this stuff. This is not the best on the market. This is from my local model shop. And basically, I use about 3 coats. You put one on pretty much the second you put it on, and it starts softening the decal so it conforms to the shape of the vehicle. And then as it dries, you add successive coats, and it conforms to the shape of the turret. So this one, and then all I did was I put a coat of Lamia medium over the top to dull it down because it is quite a glossy finish. Anyway, Sherman Firefly. 7th Armour Division did not like Cromwells. They were most upset when they received them. So much so that the army was like, you're going to drive these tanks or you're all going to be court-martialed, or worse to that effect. But because Fireflies were so obvious what they were, in order to do a little bit of camouflage, they painted the end of the barrel roughly around the same length of a 75mm. Oh, focus! 75mm Sherman. And sort of a dazzle pattern to sort of break up the end of the barrel to make it look like a normal Sherman. But unfortunately, there were still too many distinguishing features, and the Fireflies were normally taken out first. Now this one, if anybody has World of Tanks, will know that I've kind of copied this off the Cromwell B, the Cromwell Berlin, which is a very fast, fun little tank to play in World of Tanks. I'm not a very good player, but I do like the Cromwell B because it is just so fast and you can do quite amazing stuff in it. Anyway, and obviously he's got the tank commander in there. Again, decal on the back with that decal soft helps it conform to the engine deck. And the same here on the turret. So, that's it. That is my 1500 point Flames of War British/Canadian Army. ready to go and take on Reichardt's Germans in some future games, and maybe even a battle report once we've got our heads around it's been a very long time since we played Flames of War, so we've got to get our heads around the rules a bit before we can put it on the internet for everyone to criticise, as they would do. Anyway, as usual, guys, thank you for watching. Check out our affiliates, Goblin Gaming, White Shark Gaming. Links in the description as usual. All the YouTube stuff, like and subscribe. All the social media stuff, again, links in the description. And as usual, that was my son. And as usual, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you next time.